There we see the Escort behind, Kimber Smith, and the Alpha quite well up there as well. There's John Dooley's car. That also is carrying in-car camera. But the leading battle comes out towards us again with undoubtedly now Frank Sidner closing the gap between himself and Harvey and Rouse and looking to try and find a way past Harvey. There wasn't one there, but the M3 BMW is definitely very much the car to watch now on this circuit. Past the slow Astra, that threw Harvey offline a little bit, but it didn't give Sidner the chance he was looking for. Braking now into Druids, and it's on braking and on road holding, as well as the fact, of course, that the power is there, that the BMW could well be the man to watch. Taylor the Rover coming out, which Harvey obviously would like to scrub a bit of speed off and also scrub those tyres, which now on the inside he sees Frank Sidner coming alongside. But Sidner didn't make it. And that manoeuvre cost Frank Sidner about 25 yards. Sidner lost about 25 yards as a result of that manoeuvre. But now another slower car, and this could prove the chance that Frank is looking for. It's still Rouse, Harvey, Sidner. Up comes the dust there as Frank gets on the marbles, but hasn't found a way through yet. But these three very close together, and Sidner shadowing Harvey's line rather than following the line of Rouse, who's driving already somewhat defensively. Headlights on to warn any traffic ahead of him, and he will want Harvey to have to go round him if he's going to go past him, and will make life as difficult as possible. But Harvey there's left the space on the inside, and Sidner's found it. Sidner found the space on the inside, went through and past Harvey, is into second place. So now the M3 in second place, Rouse in the lead, Sidner in second place, and Harvey has dropped back as a result of that manoeuvre. I think he probably wondered what was going to happen, didn't want to get involved, and can see now that the battle up ahead is probably, right now, just that little bit too hot to handle. Rouse has got to put on every ounce of effort that he's got at the moment before those tyres perhaps begin to wilt under the strain. And Sidner, determinedly now, is setting about closing that gap. Wide line into Druids, hoping to come out tight and succeeding to a degree, but the tight line there allowed Rouse to use maximum amount of road, use all the power. The tail came out in a power slide, but on that bottom straight there, there's no doubt that Sidner's the quicker and dives for the inside. Sidner is through. Frank Sidner sideways there and spins across the front of the field. I suspect that he possibly had a tyre or something go there, and they all missed him. He gets motoring again, but it looks to me as if he's got a tyre gone. He has. He's on the grass. Somehow or other, he doesn't hit anything, controls the car, but you can see that the offside rear tyre is gone, and now we're back to the Harvey-Rouse battle again. Rouse in the lead, Harvey on the inside, and Harvey taking advantage of Rouse, who was perhaps unnerved by that manoeuvre with Frank Sidner, takes the lead as they come into paddock, scrapes through there. This time he had to come in on the tight line, so can he hold it as they come out? And the answer is yes. Up two Druids, Tim Harvey in the lead, Andy Rouse in second place, and it could well be that the tyres on the Sierra, which we suggested were marginal, that is Pete Hall. He's closing the gap a little bit on Dennis Leach. There is Mike O'Brien with the Holden Commodore. At least he's having a good, reliable run this time. And here are the two Escorts, Jeff Kimber Smith on their tail, and with them is one of the Alfa Romeos. That's the second of the cars, the Alfas, not the John Dewey car, but it's the other Alfa Romeo in the hands of Rob Kirby. There's Hodgetts diving down towards paddock. Now well in the lead of his class and ahead of that battle that we saw a moment or two ago. And looking well set now, because one more win will see him safely home as champion. He's on the inside there of the Astra number 48, which we saw before. Again, a Group M car. That's Paul Harmer's car. Carl Jones The Alpha there of Rob Kirby, and with them still and fighting every inch of the road, Jeff Kimber-Smith, and it's race cam now inside the second of the John West cars. John Dooley, the driver, with the Alfa Romeo 75 Turbo. John has been driving Alfa Romeos for longer than he or I care to remember. Down a gear, into Surtees. He's about 8 or 9 seconds behind that group of cars that are fighting that up ahead that we saw a moment or two ago. Rob Kirby with the other Alfa Romeo, and also, of course, the Escort. And there it is now, going into and out of Hawthorne's just ahead of him. Dooley into Hawthorne's, backing off for it, which is rather surprising. Comes out, and there's the group ahead going round Westfield. In and out of Westfield, and the Alpha has gone off. The other Alpha has gone off. That is Kirby's car off against the bank, and that will put Dooley up to second place in the class. There is the class leader, the championship leader, the man who looks most likely to take the championship this year. There's Hodgetts once again. Hodgetts safely away. You can see that immaculate style, but there's one thing about Chris, he never eases up. Always pushing hard, and threatens that next year it's going to be the big boys that he's going to have a go at. And there is Carl Jones with Jeff Kimber-Smith touching his tail. Kimber-Smith touching the tail of the Escort, looking as if he's going to get through. A flash of flame there, and the Escort going wide. Now, I'm not quite sure why he went wide, but it looks to me as if he's got a problem. The car is weaving, and looking at the rear of that car, I would say we have yet another deflating tyre. But John Dooley can hold up his head, because he's well and truly in the lead now of his class, and this, as far as he's concerned, is going to be the best one he's had this year, and one of the worst ones for Graham Good, who you've just seen him go past there, obviously with a problem. John Dooley, running race cam, and an enthusiastic supporter of it. Now, the battle between the Volkswagen and the Metro, and that's Alan Minshaw holding off Colin Piercy. Colin Piercy behind there, but hasn't found a way through yet past the teasing 16 valve. Volkswagen, now he has. One wheel in the air, and the Volkswagen with all four on the ground, but all four on the ground for Tim Harvey with a commanding lead in this race. Andy Rouse in second place. Dennis Leach in third place, closing on Rouse. And in fourth place, that looked like Scarborough to me, still in with a chance, perhaps. And Rouse undoubtedly has a problem. I think it's tyres. Leach thinks he can catch him. Let's see what happens. The answer, I think, is fairly clear. He can. Into Paddock Bend, Dennis Leach, who led the race, about to try and force his way through into second place. You can see the marks of a nudge there on the front bumper and also on the rear bumper. So Dennis has had a busy time, and has an even busier time there, where he gives Andy a little nudge to let him know he's there. Hence a bit more paint off the front red bit there. But now comes through on the inside and is able to outbrake the Sierra. Well, at least he thought he could. But he did actually outbrake him, but whether or not he succeeded in getting round Surtees, only this shot's going to show us, as here comes Tim Harvey. Yes, Leach did succeed in getting round Surtees. We saw him go into it with a front wheel locked right up, but he came out in second place, which is all that matters as far as he's concerned. So Harvey touring round now with a commanding lead. Absolutely sure that more championship points are his. And Tim starts his last lap with the car that everyone said this year was never going to challenge for the British Championship. Well, it hasn't challenged Hodgetts, but it has proved conclusively that the Rover is still very much a car to watch in the Dunlop British Touring Car Championship as regards overall honours and the top class. Immaculately prepared by John Maguire and beautifully driven by Tim Harvey. This car has definitely been the man to beat. The Vitesse virtually has 10 years of race development behind it, and this probably is last year when it's going to be the car to watch. But Tim Harvey, who has eased, comes under the bridge towards the checkered flag, knowing that once again he's brought a win for himself, for Istel and for Austin Rover at Brands Hatch as the flag comes out. And it's Harvey, Leach, Rouse, Hall, O'Brien, Chatfield and Hodgetts. That's the first 7 here at Brands. Here comes Pete Hall over the line now. The overall positions, the class positions, John Dooley, Mark Hale's second, Carl Jones, who was disqualified for running on a flat tyre. So only 2 finishers in that class. Colin Piercy with the Metro ahead of Minshaw and Roger Saunders in the Renault in Class C. Now we look at the overall situation in Class D with Hodgetts, the championship leader, from Kimber Smith and Alex Moss, the Toyotas 1, 2, 3. And in the big boys, Class A, we know who's won there, and it's Tim Harvey now with a champagne and a kiss to go with it, and a Brands Hatch winner's hat. After the race, I talked to Tim Harvey about the victory here at Brands.